Hey, YouTube. Well, here to talk about the assassination of Gianni Versace. So this is episode 3. They call them parts, so part 3. And this time we're going to deal with the murder of Lee Miglin, who is this wealthy trick of Andrews. All right. Okay, I'll tell you right now, this is not my favorite episode. To me, it was very, very dark. The first half of it is they're showing us who Lee Miglin was, his relationship with his wife. And it was just so sad because I knew what was coming. I mean, I even remember it from the headlines. But they showed how well, it opens up with, let me see. It opens up with her, she's out of town doing an infomercial for her products. There's a perfume line. I'm not sure if it's just perfume or other cosmetics as well, but she's very successful in her business. He's very successful builder. He's, I guess, architect builder. He builds skyscrapers. She's out of town. She calls him from the airport. Next thing we see her, she's calling from the airport, and he doesn't pick her up. He leaves her at the airport. So she has to take a cab home. When she gets home, she opens the door, and instantly she knows something's wrong. I guess her first clue would be that he would just leave her there without answering the phone or picking her up. When she comes in the house, she thinks some things are messy, which apparently this is a very neat man. They have a almost all white apartment. Let me stop for a minute. I said something about this apartment. Townhouse or brownstone, whatever it's called. It's like a townhouse. It's beautiful, but it is so dated. Now, I guess this is supposed to be 1996. The interiors, to me, look like the interiors of the 70s. Lots of white lacquer and brass. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I was out there in the world during the 90s, but I don't remember that being the look. It seems to me much more 70s and very minimalist. But anyway, it's obvious they're very wealthy people. Okay, so there are a couple of neighbors passing by. When she opens the door, she stops. She feels like something is wrong. A couple of neighbors come by, they ask, what's wrong? And she says something's not right. So they go into the apartment. The man identifies that something is amiss. Like there's the bathtub is nasty. These guys, like I said, they have a pure white apartment. Everything is perfect. But the bathtub has got a deep ring around it where Andrew done got his nasty ass in it. Food has been left out, things like that. He starts to get suspicious. So he tells the women to wait outside. And the man goes and looks through the apartment. Several things in the apartment are askew. He suspects there's something wrong as well. He tells them to call the police. The police arrive. They start looking around. And eventually they work their way around to the garage. This neighbor must be with them because we hear a woman scream when they find this man's body. Then we go back from there. So we go back from there, I think 1 week earlier. 1 week earlier. Okay, did I dress that up right? Yeah, so the cops and a lady find the body in the garage. And we'll get to how the body is found. It's disgusting. We switch to 1 week earlier, right? Okay, so they're at a big event. It's an event to honor him. It's like a big dinner. They're very complimentary towards each other. The relationship seems nice. They seem to love each other. Like she said, he's my partner in everything. So they support each other. They encourage each other. And they've got a long-term marriage. So a lot of people, they'll say, oh, he's in the closet. So that way you don't have a real marriage. Oh, he's faking and all this stuff. No. we have to get more comfortable with the word bisexual. And I think a lot of these closeted guys are not even in touch with it. They think they're just gay, faking it for whatever various reasons, financial or whatever. But you can love your wife and still be bisexual and still have desires for men as well. So it seems to me that they have a sincere relationship. A lot of times you see these rich people, you'll see they sleep in separate bedrooms and there's not much relationship there at all, not much love there. But they seem to really, really care about each other. And of course, she's very into appearances and all that, but we'll get to that. Okay, so they're at this benefit. They're honoring him. They're around the table having dinner first. And she kind of, is pumping up her husband, saying what a good man he's been, how their partnership has been, kind of thing. And then she has to go up on stage and introduce him with this award he's getting or whatever. It's a benefit, right? Or at least it has his name up there. So they're honoring him, Lee Miglin. Okay. When you get back home, Andrew calls. Lee answers from downstairs. The wife is upstairs in bed. And Andrew says, I'm in town. So Andrew's a hustler. They say escort, but he's a prostitute. Andrews is a hustler. He's been with this man before. And he's notifying him that he's in town. Coincidentally, the wife is getting ready to leave town. She's going to be out of town for the weekend. And so Andrew comes to their house. Now, I don't know if he would have still had if his wife's circumstances being what they were, if his wife was still in town, which is usually where she is, that's where she lives, would he have murdered him if they were in a hotel room somewhere? I'm not sure, but Andrew has come there to kill that man because almost immediately he pulls his gun. All right. Lee has got this Catholic guilt. He's a Catholic, very serious Catholic, obviously. He has a room, prayer room, and he goes and he tells God that he tried. I mean, I don't want to turn this into a 3-hour sermon, but he feels that he's doing something wrong. I guess he commits adultery when he's with other people. You know how Catholics teach you, and most religions teach you about homosexuality and all this stuff, all based on that book. But I'm not going there. He prays, asks for forgiveness. He's tearful. Then he gets back to business, right? So Andrew arrives. As soon as he gets in the house, he's snippy, nasty with him. I mean, this is a very nice. I took a liking to this man. Lee Miglin. He was just a nice man, right? He was lonely. And he invited this punk into his house. So he's trying to, what's he doing? Okay, so the man takes Andrew into his study and he's showing him his plans. He just wants somebody to talk to. He's all excited about this needle. Was it kind of space needle or something? No, some kind of tower. The largest tower over Sears Building, which is the tallest building in the United States. I don't know if it's still that now or not. I don't know if the Freedom Tower is taller, but in Chicago, certainly, it is the tallest building in Chicago that he's planning. But they haven't broken ground yet. But he's just telling them about his plans. Apparently, he's done these things before. He is a developer and a builder. Andrew's nasty. The whole time he's just a nasty little punk. See, that's why I don't have I don't have guests here, honey. I just don't. Because, I mean, I'm trying to stay on topic. Lord, I tell myself, boy, stay on topic. Stay on topic. All right, so this is typical lonely old guy. Got this hole in his house, and the hole is just nasty, snippy the whole time he's there. Andrew Cunanan is an extremely jealous person. This is a big part of his psychology. He's jealous. He's jealous of Versace, and he's jealous of this man because he's successful, because he's done something. Now, Andrew, I think he's in his late 20s. He hasn't even tried to do anything. He just goes around telling these lies about this tremendous success. It's all a lie, and he resents people who are actually successful. So as the man is telling them about his dreams, about this new tower, Andrew starts getting nasty with him. Do you think I want to hear about what successful you are? Do you think I want to just nasty? All right, so the man says, you could try to be nice. I know it's not real, but you could try to be nice. So I feel for this guy, maybe because I'm an old queen myself, but just a lonely old man. All right, so Andrews used his secret weapon. He starts kissing this man, whatever. Then he tells them they want to go down into the garage. All right, so when they're in the den, Andrew had already pulled that gun on him almost immediately after coming into the house. So his plan was to come there and to kill him. He puts the gun away. They go into the garage, and he's already having this weird sex he likes to have with wrapping people's eyes. I don't know why these guys. His hands are free. Miglin's hands are free, but he allows this man to wrap his head up with this scotch tape or anything. It's not a struggle. He's allowing him to do it because apparently Andrew is a prostitute who his thing is these S&M games. These are the games he was playing with this other guy. When we see him in other sexual situations, the guy that got away in Miami, same kind of these sex games. But most of it involves this tape thing. This is supposed to, I guess this is his signature whole quality. What he specializes. These guys who are powerful in life, and that part is real. I do have some memory of that. The way it is. These guys who are powerful in their real life, in their fantasy life, they want to be submissive. They want to be submissive, and that means trusting some fool off the street to wrap your head and your eyes up, and just leave your nose open. He left his nose open. Usually he cuts that off the air. Anyway, he wraps his man's head up, and then his hands are still free, but he ties his legs up. And then that motherfucker gets on top of the man and punches and breaks his nose. Blood's shooting out of the bandages. Now the man knows that he's in trouble. He can't see anything. His legs are tied. He can't get up. And this fool, first after he hits him in the face, then he goes and gets this big old thing of bag of cement. It's powdered. It's a big bag, heavy bag of cement, and throws it on the man. When they find later on, when the cops are the coroner is doing his thing with them, they discover that all his ribs were broken. Breaks the man, so the man's in agonizing pain. He's been hit in the face. He's bleeding. He's probably gargling, choking on his own blood. And then this motherfucker hits him in the chest with a knife. That's what I mean about this episode. It was so dark. I was just so uncomfortable. It was so hard to watch that. I think if I were the director, I'd did it differently. But we're watching a story about a serial killer, right? So, all right. Anyway, so he kills the man. Then we switch back to when the woman was coming home. Now the cops have found the body, and the girl screamed, and yeah, so now she's there. She knows what's happened. She's figured it out. She's lived with this man for I don't know how many years, but they've got a grown son, so 30, 40 years, I think she said. And so she already knows. It may be a kind of thing that's unspoken, but she's determined that people know that this is just a random murder. Someone broke into the house and did this thing to my husband. And now the cops, they done found his body. Oh, I left a part out. It's so different, nasty. Ugh. While this man is bleeding from the nose, tied up in the face, and all this stuff, Andrew gets down in the man's ear, the man's hard of hearing, and yells at him that they're going to say, which is worse, to die or to be humiliated. Yelling, this is going to complicate the murder even more because it's causing emotional distress. You know how this man struggles already with guilt and shame. Screaming that he's going to find him with women's panties on and gay porn all around him. Why he has to tell him that? Because he's an evil motherfucker. Okay, so, and that's just what he does. After he kills him, puts gay magazines around him, he wants to out him and kill him and humiliate him. This is a man, this man had brought this child into his house and given him probably too much money. And this is what he gets for it. All right. So the woman just wanted to keep things quiet. She's very into appearances and so forth. And she has a son. But I thought it was kind of strange that they showed her son, I guess, came home from school. And the cops are there. And they're saying everything right in front of the kid. I mean, this is a guy in his early 20s. I would imagine this would be very, very, if this is how you're going to find out his father was gay, I would think it would be a more personal experience. They wouldn't just start talking about it. It's like assuming he knew it or something. Anyway, the son doesn't have any lines. All right, so where did I pick it up at, Andrew? Okay, so these people, they have several cars. I think one's a Jaguar and SUV, I think. And they have a Lexus. So Andrews steals the man's Lexus. There's several $1,000s in the house, according to the wife. He took that, and he took these gold coins. These gold coins we were introduced to in the first episode, where he pawns it, and that's how they were able to identify that he was in Miami. Okay. So he steals a bunch of shit. It says some suits, some coats, and stuff like that. And he takes off. The wife just wants to make sure that this is presented as a robbery. Okay, so now Andrew is in this red car. He's in this red. Is it red? No, I don't know what color the Lexus is, but Andrew's in this car. The car has a car phone in it, right? So the cops get excited. They got a break. They say, well, they already know who he is because his fingerprints are all over the damn place. He's not trying to hide any of that. So I don't know if his plan was always to die or he just wants notoriety for being a serial killer. But so they already know who Andrew is. They're already looking for him before he even gets to Chicago. This all took place in Chicago, right? So cops are excited because this phone has a tracking system in it. And he can't use the phone, but it automatically ignites whenever he starts the car up. Activates this tracking system. So they can find him. Cops are ecstatic. We got him. Then one of them comes into the office and says, a local radio station is reporting that we're able to track the car. The car has the phone, and that we're able to track it. That means some cop, some dumb, stupid-ass cop, has leaked that information. They don't know who know it. Leaked that information to a local radio station. They put it out. Andrew hears it. So now, of course, and this cop, when he finds out, I said he should have some reaction to that. And he does. He has a reaction. He starts tearing up the damn office because this means that when Andrew hears this, the car's got a radio in it, he's going to get rid of the car, and they won't be able to find it. They can track the car, but they can't track him if he leaves the car. So the cop is furious, tears up the office. Okay, so when after Andrews finds out about this, hears about this phone, he pulls over to the side of the road, bangs the phone up inside it, and then takes the antenna off the back of it. But he's knows now that this car, they're looking for this car. So he pulls into like I think it's a little truck stop, a little rest stop, and he's identifying people he could carjack. taking a car, it ain't all that. It's so easy to just take somebody's keys and push them on the ground and go. But he sees this pretty red truck pull into this damn stop. I guess it has a little store there. And this man gets in the truck, and he gets back into the Lexus and follows this man in this red truck. The man is a caretaker for a cemetery. They get back. Man puts his keys on the table, and soon after that, Andrew approaches him, with his gun pulled. He says, "I'm here to take your car. Here's the problem." Now, a thinking person could work a way around this, but here's it, because he could easily just tie the man up and leave him there, or he asked him for, "You got a place I can lock you up," lying to the dude. He could have locked him up anywhere, but he wants to stack up these numbers. He wants to kill people. I guess if one good thing about this Versace situation, by him being so focused on going to kill Gianni Versace, that there wasn't more carnage, because he was killing everybody he came in contact with. If he hadn't done Versace, he would have continued to kill people. Anyway, I'm ahead of the story. He tells this man, "Is there a place I can lock you up?" The motivation here would be, which is not totally unnecessary. If the man lives, then he can tell them who has this, can describe his car. He can tell them who the boy was. He can identify him. So he kills him, made him get on his knees. The man begs for his life for the sake of his children, and Andrew blows his brains out. Another time, FX with this, showing us the blood and the violence. I'm not wild about that. But it's a story about a serial killer, right? He ain't supposed to be pretty. Kills this man to take his truck. Okay, so now when we go to Miami, we're going to discover that this is the truck that he drives to Miami. All right, I think that's about what happened. So it's 2 murders in this episode. It was the darkest so far of what we've seen. Since thankfully there's only one more murder, and that's Versace, which we've already seen that. But we'll pick it up next week. Okay? Later.